livestock and poultry.
Andhra Pradesh livestock dominance.
Number 1 in egg production, 33% of India's output.
Number 4 in meat production, poultry and sheep.
In top 10 in milk production, with rupees 1.69 lakh crores contribution to GSDP. 4.2 million farmers directly engaged, 1 million plus in allied sectors.
Nara Chandrababu Naidu's transformative leadership.
What sets Andhra Pradesh apart is its commitment to technological innovation. Under our visionary Chief Minister Shri Nara Chandrababu Naidu, Andhra Pradesh state redefined its animal husbandry sector as an economic engine. The salient programs are from 1995 to 2004. Launched Janmabhoomi, India's first large-scale veterinary health camps at farmers' doorstep. AI-powered Gopal Mitra, best adopted practice for doorstep breeding in livestock. 240 integrated livestock development centers in tribal areas to achieve inclusive growth from 2014 to 2019. Introduced mobile veterinary services benefiting women farmers and reducing child labor. Adoption of in vitro fertilization, sex, semen and embryo transfer techniques in animal husbandry sector way back in 2015.
Policy innovations.
Fodder security policy, introduced first time in India. Shortages with Vasugrasa Kshetra, individual and community fodder zones, introduction of silage fodder to the rural farmers. Poultry policy, power tariff subsidy, subvention of loans to achieve double-digit growth, subsidized feed ingredients in need. Small ruminant policy, free mass deworming of sheep and goats 4 times a year, free day ticking, insurance and NCDC loans to support the lakh shepherds.
Technology adoption.
Provision of more than 10,000 tablet phones and adoption of digital technology. Real-time governance system crown EP with prestigious Manthan Award 2016 for digital disease surveillance, achieving FMD-free status.
Grassroots services strengthening.
In continuation of his visionary actions under inclusive workforce development and grassroots empowerment, Shri Chandrababu Naidu restructured the Animal Husbandry Department. 430 plus new jobs in animal husbandry. Deployment of 2,200 Gopala Mitras, 540 Jivamitras, 1,300 plus women SHGs as Vasumitras in rural areas.
Skill development and capacity building.
In 2016, established State Management Institute of Livestock Entrepreneurship, SMILE, Institute at Visakhapatnam for skill upgradation of stakeholders.
Mitigation of untoward losses.
Livestock insurance, enhancement of compensation for livestock losses, more than NDRF norms.
Conservation of indigenous breeds.
To conserve indigenous cattle breeds, established National Kamdhenu Breeding Center in Nellore district, one of only 2 in India.
The road ahead. Swarna Andhra at 2047.
Aligned with Viksit Bharat, Andhra Pradesh aims to become a $2.4 trillion economy by 2047. Achieve top 3 ranks in milk, meat and eggs by 2029. Sustain 18 to 20% annual growth in livestock sector.
A model for India.
With cutting-edge tech, inclusive policies, and visionary leadership, Andhra Pradesh is reshaping India's livestock future. Andhra Pradesh aims to rank among India's top 3 states in milk, meat, and egg production by 2029. With digital innovation and strong policies, the state is set for transformative growth. Partner with us to drive lasting prosperity. Join the transformation.
Redefining life.
Thank you, sir. And now I request Dr. T. Damodar Naidu, sir, Director of Animal Husbandry, Government of Andhra Pradesh, to present his welcome address.
Good morning. Esteemed, distinguished Director General Statistics, Advisor to Government of India officials, IASRA scientists, officials from New Delhi, NDDB, FAO, directors of various states, and my dear colleagues. I feel honored to address this esteemed gathering representing the Animal Husbandry Department of Andhra Pradesh. I am delighted to welcome you all to this Technical Committee of Directions meeting being held here in Amravati, Andhra Pradesh for the year 25-26. The prestigious two-day national meeting scheduled for 22nd and 23rd January 2026 brings together participants from all Indian states and union territories with the common objective of improving livestock statistics and advancing the future of the livestock sector across the nation. Andhra Pradesh, as you all know, is not just a participant in India's livestock sector, it's one of its original custodians. Our land is home of globally renowned livestock breeds such as Ongole, popularly called as Nellore across the globe, and the tallest among sheep breeds, Nellore breed, Godavari buffaloes, and Macharla sheep, and the game bird Asil. These breeds symbolize the richness of our agricultural heritage and the excellence we strive to achieve. The livestock sector in Andhra Pradesh plays a vital role in feeding and sustaining over 42 lakh households engaged in livestock related activities. I am proud to say that our state has abundant livestock resources with a livestock population of 3.41 crores alongside 10.79 crores of poultry, reinforcing our position as a leader in India's livestock production. As already informed, our state has achieved significant milestones in the livestock sector. As of 2024 statistics, our state ranks first in egg production, 7th in milk production, and 4th in meat production, and contributing 5.6% of India's total milk production. Andhra Pradesh's livestock sector contributes significantly to 1.7 lakh crores to the state's economy through GSTP, approximately 11% of the GSTP. As part of our vision for Swarna Andhra Pradesh 2047, we are committed to achieve 15% annual growth as per the vision of our Honorable Chief Minister. And with an annual growth in livestock sector aiming for 3.5 lakh crores GVA by 2030. I am also excited to share that a near universal survey of 20 lakhs livestock households has been completed recently, providing crucial insights into the detailed demographics, credit access, insurance coverage, breed improvement programs, technology adoption, feed and fodder planning, and climate smart practices in addition to various ground realities of the livestock sector. This survey data will guide us for future policies and actions, ensuring that we address the real challenges faced by our livestock farmers across the state. A glimpse of this survey will be brought to the notice of the audience in the afternoon session. So we understand the importance of your comfortable stay during your visit, and our team is committed to ensuring that you have everything you need for a productive and pleasant experience here in Amravati. Additionally, as a gesture, we also invite you for darshan of Goddess Durga Mata atop Indrakeladri, situated in Vijayawada. So let us work together, leveraging the insights gained during this meeting to ensure the continuous growth and prosperity of the livestock sector in Andhra Pradesh and across India. I look forward to engaging discussions over the next 2 days. Thank you and welcome you once again.
Thank you, sir. Now I request Dr. Taqir Ahmad sir, Head Sample Survey ICR, IASRA Pusa Delhi, to address the delegates, please.
Thank you. Good morning to all of you. Respected Shri Kal Singh ji, DGS Statistics and Chairman TCD, Honorable ex officio Special Secretary B. Raj Shekhar ji, Shri Jagat Hazarika ji, Advisor Livestock Statistics, Shri T. Damodarji, Director, Animal Husbandry Department, Andhra Pradesh, Shri Rathorji, Director, HS, other dignitaries of the dais, and most importantly, my dear participants from different states and union territories, different organizations. I welcome you all to this very important TCD meeting held in Andhra Pradesh at Vijayawada. On behalf of ICR ISRI, I once again welcome all the participants for a very fruitful discussion during the next 2 days. As we all know that TCD, Technical Committee for Direction for Improvement of Agriculture Statistics, is a very important meeting which is held annually to discuss not only the estimates, the livestock scenario in India and different states and union territories. And these livestock statistics, they are generated using a very sound scientific methodology that we all know. It is integrated sample survey. This integrated sample survey methodology was developed by none other than ICR ISRI New Delhi way back in 80s, and the methodology is implemented by Government of India for generation of livestock statistics. Time to time, there is a need for improvement in the methodology, improvement in the questionnaire, improvement in data collection procedures, and these things are discussed during the year before the next TCD. And different points are coming out of these meetings, and we take care of those things through ministry. Mostly it comes to ICR ISRI for methodological improvement. If there is a need for constitution of any committee for improvement of methodology or other aspects of livestock, generation of livestock statistics, then in between experts committees are constituted. After the last TCD meeting, one expert committee was constituted under the chairmanship of Professor G.C. Manna sir, ex-DG CSO and NSSO. And this committee has also recommended few improvement in the methodology. I think that will be discussed during these 2 days. Besides this, now this is an era of digital agriculture. We all know that without this digital agriculture mission, we cannot survive. This is the need of the hour. So, under digital agriculture, I am happy and to share and also congratulate AHS for taking initiative before any other ministries for generation of livestock statistics in automated mode, means through digital mode. So we all know that data collection was done under this particular survey using 10 schedules, and it was paper based. And AHS took initiative to develop portal initially. The portal was developed by ICR ISRI successfully, followed by development of ELIS app, and once that was developed, then the integration, dashboard and other things during the year, whatever improvement is required, different versions are being released, and you all are there who are very important for the collection of livestock statistics. You are there from states and UTs who are important for us, because the data quality is important, and through this digital approach we are in a position to get the quality data. And the most important one is we are able to monitor right from the top, from AHS, from ISRI. We are able to monitor what is going on in the field, and accordingly now we see that the data quality which is coming out, it is getting standardized. And data quality, once we talk of, earlier we you all know that unit level data was not available. Once we were there collecting data using paper through questionnaire schedules. Now we have unit level data, and different R&D organization can use those data for different researches, and also it is very, very useful not only for improvement of generation of livestock statistics, but for other ministries. This initiative for other ministries, it is a role model. This ELIS software and app. Now in different ministries, when I am there in the meetings, it is being discussed that like livestock statistics app and portal, we should also go ahead. I know that many in crop statistics, this attempt is done through private agencies. They are expending a lot, say 30 crores for this, but that also quality output, quality product has not come out. And we see with minimum, because we are government organization and we are successful enough. So it is not us, we have taken initiative, AHS has taken initiative, and without the attempt and the from a state and union territories, people who are collecting the data all 3 seasons throughout the year. So these things are getting done and we are successfully doing it. I hope that in future also you will be getting better quality data, and improvement will be there in generation of livestock statistics. With this, I stop here and wish all the best for very fruitful discussion in the next 2 days. Thank you.
Thank you. Now I request Sri Jagat Hajarika sir, Advisor Department of Animal Husbandry Dairy, to have context setting and introductory address.
Thank you. Good morning all. सभी फ्रेश हैं? Thank you. Respected Special Chief Secretary, Government of Andhra Pradesh, DG sir, today's Chairman of the TCD, Dr. Takir Ahmed, Head of the ISRI ICAR, other dignitaries in the dais, senior officers from the state government, ICAR, NIAP, Department of Agriculture, Reserve Bank of India, Ministry of Statistics and PI, other participants, media friends, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of Department of Animal Husbandry and Dairy and my own behalf, I welcome all of you to this 2 days, I can say, get together of all animal husbandry statisticians to discuss important issues for next year target and then what we have done in the last year. Far from the severe cold of north, I think pleasant weather of this city, Vijayawada, we can discuss and take some important decisions for animal husbandry statistics pleasantly. This is my hope. The animal husbandry statistics system plays a pivotal role in fascinating robust data collection, analysis, and dissemination. The integrated sample survey, as Dr. Takir said, is a cornerstone in estimating milk, meat, and egg production, providing reliable and timely data that feed directly into the national planning and reporting the international organizations. Similarly, livestock census, which is a 5-year activity, captures the diversity, trends, and dynamics of Indian livestock population. Animal husbandry statistics ensures uniformity in the survey design, capacity building for enumerators, and the adoption of digital tools for data accuracy and efficiency. Together, ISS, that is Integrated Sample Survey, and livestock census form the backbone to the livestock database, ensuring that policies and schemes are informed ground realities. Contributing more than 30% to the agri GVA, that is agricultural GVA, and 5.5% to the total economy, this sector is emerging as a sunrise sector in India. Globally, we are number 1 in milk production with 25% of the world milk, second in egg productions after China, and fourth in meat productions. This is a proud for India. Across the continents, Asia is holding 31% of cattle population, 98% of buffalo population, 45% of sheep population, 49% goat, and 56% of pig population. So this is the strength that animal husbandry statistics. It enabling us for evidence-based policy formulation, livestock sector planning, and international reporting communities. That is FAO, SDG indicators. Those are the important indicators that we are creating from the animal husbandry statistics. Thus, the ISS and LCR are indispensable in designing and implementing effective policies for the livestock sector by providing granular data on production in the livestock demographies. These surveys guide internally also to take initiatives such as National Livestock Mission, Rashtriya Gokul Mission, Dairy Development Schemes. So accurate statistics also enable targeted interventions for vulnerable populations, improving food security, nutritional outcome, and rural livelihoods. So livestock statistics plays a pivotal role in achieving SDG also, Sustainable Development Goal, goal number 2, that is zero hunger, which focuses on the ending hunger, achieving food security, and improving nutrition. Livestock contributes significantly to rural livelihoods, providing high quality of protein and essential nutrients. Also, SDG sub-goals 2.5.1 and 2.5.2 emphasize maintaining genetic diversity in food production system and ensuring the sustainable use of genetic resources. India's rich genetic diversity in the livestock offers opportunities to enhance productivity while conserving indigenous breeds. By integrating robust livestock data system with conservation and productivity goals, we can strengthen food system, reduce hunger, and ensure the sustainable development. As we approaching the next Finance Commission cycle, the continuation of scheme was assessed by the NITI Aayog. The imperative to continue this scheme is strongly supported by evidence too. The recent evaluation by the DMEO, that is Development Monitoring and Evaluation Office of NITI Aayog, has clearly endorsed its retention, continuation. The report confirms that LC and ISS, Livestock Census and Integrated Sample Survey, are fundamental for SDG monitoring, agricultural GDP calculation, and sectoral policy making. Today we have with stakeholders like MOSPI, that is Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation, I think they are online, RBI, Reserve Bank of India, FAO, who always expects sufficient data related to this sector. We will discuss all those in our detailed presentations, that is we are going to conduct next 2 days. Thus we are also looking ahead to expand the scope and the relative relevance of our data production to meet the evolving demands of national and international stakeholders. By doing so, we will ensure our statistics not only reflects the reality on the ground, but also effectively, actively drive sustainable growth, climate resilience, and improved livelihoods for millions dependent on this sector. The Technical Committee for Direction has been instrumental in identifying these gaps in current statistical system and proposing actionable solutions. So my expectation from the TCD is we should identify the gaps, discuss the possible solutions and draw a path to arrive whatever gap is there. In conclusion, strengthening livestock statistics is not just a national policy but a global imperative. Reliable data is the foundation of effective policy making, ensuring that we meet domestic and international goals with improving rural livelihoods and fostering sustainable agricultural practices. I urge this committee to continue its dedication to improving statistical system, integrating modern technologies, and aligning our efforts with broader vision of the sustainable development. Together, we can ensure that livestock sector thrives and contributes meaningfully to India's economy and global food security. With this, thank you, Moon.
Thank you, sir. Now I request Shri Kal Singh sir, Director General Statistics, Minister of Health and Family Welfare and Chairman TCD to present keynote address.
It's my honor and privilege to be present here on this moment. Respected Sri B. Raj Shekharji, ex-officio Special Chief Secretary, Government of Andhra Pradesh, Sri Jagat Hajarika ji, Advisor, Animal Husbandry, Government of India, Dr. Ahmed ji, Head Sample Survey, ICAR, other dignitaries on dais, and officer from state and UTs, and officer from RBI, MOSPI. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning everyone, and a warm welcome to this meeting of technical committees for direction for improvement of animal husbandry dairy statistics. I am delighted to welcome all the members and participants gathered here. As the FX advisory and oversight bodies for animal husbandry and dairy statistics in India, our mandate is both clear and critical. We are interested with the responsibility to strengthen the statistical ecosystem of this vital sector. Our role involves identifying gaps, data gaps, and recommending standardized methodologies, providing technical guidance on survey and livestock census, and ensuring the effective implementation of TSC recommendations. I look forward to our collaborative discussion about these 2 days. Our collective efforts will be directed towards enhancing the quality, timeliness, and relevance of livestock data, which is crucial for informed decision making and sectoral development. We begin by acknowledging the groundwork laid at our previous meeting in Pune. The action taken report from January 2025 highlights our ongoing commitments to improve as reflected in the recent data. Milk production has increased by 3.58%, eggs by 4.4%, meat by 2.46%, and wool by 2.63%. However, our focus must remain on the foundational system that generate such data and continuation of the Central Exposure Scheme for Livestock Census and ISS, that is Integrated Sample Survey, which is concluding its current approval at the end of this financial cycle in March 2026. This scheme is not just another program, it is the essential statistical backbone of the entire livestock sector, providing the benchmark population data and continuous production estimates that enables evidence-based policy making, national planning, and international reporting. The imperative to continue this scheme is strongly supported by the evidence, the recent evaluation and development monitoring and evaluation to office DMO of Niti Aayog has clearly endorsed its retention. The report confirmed that the LC and ISS are fundamental for SDG monitoring, agriculture GDP calculations, and sectoral policy making. This endorsement confirms the long-standing recommendations of the Rangarajan Committee, National Survey Commission 2001, which advocated for the continuation and refinement of the integrated sample survey, developing more efficient census methodologies, improvement in data quality and technical guidance, and minimization of delay in livestock census. However, the DMO evaluation also provides crucial constructive feedbacks. It identified operational gaps that we must address with urgency, especially delay in fund flow, staffing shortage, and the need for strong monitoring mechanism. They are not just administrative issues, they are direct threat to data quality and timeliness. Therefore, our collective way forward is clear and action-oriented. First, we must strongly recommend the continuation of the scheme aligned LC and ISS scheme for the 17th Finance Commission cycle, incorporating the DMO's recommendations to improve its efficiency and impact. Second, we must address the implementation bottleneck. State need to utilize allocation funds promptly and efficiently. Concurrently, to maintain data integrity, posts under the scheme must be created and filled on priority basis. Finally, we must look ahead to expand the scope and relevance of our data productions to meet the evolving demands of the nation and international stakeholders. By doing this, we will ensure our statistical not only reflect the reality on the ground, but also actually drive sustainable growth, climate flexibility, and improve livestock for million depends on this sector. I now invite your insights and recommendations to shape these critical roadmaps. I am confident that over the next 2 days, all participants will actively engage in discussion and maximize the opportunity to enrich their knowledge. Let us work together to address these challenges, refine process, and continue building a robust, inclusive, and data-driven livestock sectors for the nation. Thank you. Thanks.
Thank you very much, sir. Now I request finally Sri B. Raishekar sir, IAS ex officio Special Chief Secretary, Animal Husbandry Development and Fisheries Department, Government of Andhra Pradesh, to present the Chief Guest's address.
Very good morning, and on behalf of the Government of Andhra Pradesh, I welcome each one of you to Vijayawada for this 2-day Technical Committee of Direction for Improvement of Livestock Statistics. At the outset, I would like to thank Ministry for giving us this opportunity to host this prestigious annual event in Vijayawada, and definitely whenever we get another opportunity to host, we'll have that meeting in Amravati, the new capital which is coming up very close to Vijayawada. And some of you, if you have time, kindly go around and see the initial stages of this beautiful city. I'm sure in next maybe a decade, it will be one of the best cities in the world. I also take this opportunity to specifically welcome the directors of Animal Husbandry Department from Sikkim, Puducherry, Punjab, Rajasthan, Tripura, UP, and West Bengal, and Government of India officials, IA, Indian Agriculture Statistics Research Institute, Delhi, ICAR, NDDB, RBI, and FAO. I apologize on behalf of our Honorable Minister, supposed to be here and deliver the inaugural address. He is not able to join us. I have a written speech, but I think I'll have a very informal sharing of some of my observations. And over the last 1 year, I took charge of this department exactly 1 year back. Except for maybe as district collector, working in the districts, I had a little bit to do with this department, but in my 34 years now, this last 1 year, I've observed from very close quarters the way this department functions. And this department actually becomes extremely important in our context, Government of AP's context, because our Honorable CM, every time he talks about GVA, GSTP, he shows a slide which shows department-wise contribution to GSTP. And at the bottom of that pyramid is livestock sector, contributing 17% to state GSTP. I think it comes as for many to me also as very surprising, and sometimes it is shocking because everybody expects the service sector and industries to contribute. But the primary sector in Andhra, because of the bifurcation of the state, a new capital yet in its formation, 35% of the GSDP still is dependent on the primary sector, which has the 4 subsectors: fisheries, livestock, agriculture and horticulture. And within the primary sector, livestock contributes to 33%. If it is 6 lakh crores of the GVA target for 25-26, 2 lakh crores come from the livestock sector. Now, this is very interesting, at least to me, that such a sector, such an important, critical sector, and I'm happy, in fact, I wanted to participate in this workshop because, as all the speakers just now mentioned, and also the chairman mentioned, that data is the new oil today, and data integrity, which is basically data should be valid and reliable, is the key. And wherever there is manual entry of data, where the last mile functionaries are asked to enter data, that is all in this era of AI, that manual entry of data is ego. I mean, it's garbage in, and then whatever analytics and whatever statistics, information that comes out of that invalid data, or data that has no integrity, has no value. So I think, of course, TCB is more about methodology and how to do that integrated sample survey. But I'd like to leave a few thoughts to all the participants here, and I would urge you to discuss on those issues. Number one is, as I've said, it's so critical for us, livestock sector. 33% of the primary sector comes from livestock, but yet nobody in the state, including me as the secretary of the department, know exactly how we contribute to those numbers. GVA livestock is very simple. We have just simplified it and brought it down to 3 items: eggs, meat and milk. And I'm sure I was told that integrated sample survey converts somehow all these huge numbers. Just now my colleague mentioned that we have about 3 crore livestock population in the state. And all that magically transforms into 3 beautiful numbers indicating meat, eggs and milk. And that's it. And I keep asking in my review meetings within the department as to if somebody says, in fact, our CM just released the half-yearly report, and in the livestock sector, we've been told by the statistics department that we have achieved about 45-46% first half year, and second half year we are supposed to achieve the remaining 55%. Now, how we achieve that 45%, I have no clue. How we are going to achieve the remaining 55%, I don't have any clue. Why I'm saying this is, unless, in fact, we are trying to decipher or sort of deconstruct these numbers, for a meaningful action taken activities at the cutting edge. We have a beautiful system in Andhra Pradesh which no other state has. At the grassroots levels, we have Grama Sachivalayams, secretariats, in which we have a specifically animal husbandry assistant who is a government servant. At grassroots level, we have about 6,000 such animal husbandry assistants at the cutting edge. My point has always been to, in fact, it's not just in my, as I've said, in my long tenure of 34 years, I've been always advocating that data collected and then converted into beautiful information, analytics, never comes down to the people who collect the data. And many times the analytics, the charts, everything stays at the top. So we've been in the last 6 months, we are trying to, as I've said, deconstruct these numbers and tell the cutting edge functionaries what it exactly means in terms of actions. We have sort of now the GVA at the state level, we have now calculated district-wise, and now we have gone up to the last level, which we call Raitu Seva Kendra. At Raitu Seva Kendra, we are telling this particular functionary, he is responsible for giving X amount of GVA. And in some cases, we found that a particular RSK has to generate about 3,000, 4,000 crores. And what does that 4,000 crores means? Of course, we have to show it in terms of the 3 critical parameters, which is meat, egg, and milk. We can do that. But what does that mean in terms of actionable points for that functionary and for the supervising staff and for us, entire department? What does it mean when we say that meat value in that GVA is some X crores? What am I supposed to do? Departments run on budgets, annual action plans, events. I start with the vaccination program, and that too, my director says there's no budget, so we can't do vaccinations. Governments run on events, and then there is another department giving us these statistical information, data, saying this is your achievement or non-achievement. I think time has come to all of us to sit together and convert these numbers into, I'm sure these are meaningful numbers, but convert them into meaningful, actionable points. And our attempt today is to tell the last mile functionary that your achievement or your target of 1,000 crores of GVA actually means that in poultry, these are 1, 2, 3 poultry industries there. What are you supposed to do? Coordinate with them, see to it that no bird flu or something like that occurs. Meat value is this much. So how do you get that in the big ruminants, what you're supposed to do? Similarly for milk. And in fact, I was very excited when one veterinary assistant surgeon in one meeting got up and said, "Sir, we've been talking about GBA, and I just discovered that I have a vaccination program to do, and I realized that if I don't do this vaccination, which means that given the mortality rate, so many animals may die, which means so much of reduction in GBA." To me, that, I was so excited. First time I realized that this GBA, this statistics, we all have our own impressions or definitions about these statistics. And such beautiful translation of some vague numbers into something very meaningful, and to me it was a very profound statement by that young veterinary assistant surgeon. And if you go, because in our state, Honorable Chief Minister very religiously, every time Government of India releases the GSDP figures, GDP figures, we also do a similar exercise here. There will be a secretaries meeting and then the district collectors conference where these numbers are told that this is our half-yearly report card, this is our performance, and this is what you're supposed to do. And he has been doing it every quarter. And everybody attends these meetings, notes down the numbers, goes back to their respective places, and again we reassemble for the next quarter, again take the numbers, go back. Because these numbers and what we do, in one sense, there's no link. There's no direct link. There is a link, but there's no link. So I don't know whether this is in the scope of the TCD, but I think somebody has to really put some effort to think about the statistics which we are compiling be translated into something, as I've said, workable action points for the people who have feet on the ground. Many of us sitting here, including me, we just talk. We don't do actual actions. Now, the person who actually does that, who actually generates the GBA, who actually generates these, so much of meat value, so much of eggs, they need to understand. And my request to the Chairman Saab and the senior officials here, just think about it. Today, in fact, we've been questioning some of the so-called methodologies being adopted by MOSPI. Even in agriculture, horticulture. Today you'll be shocked if I tell you that horticulture GBA is calculated based on productivity, which is randomly picked from some farmers. It's not, there's no crop cutting experiment that is done as in agriculture. Horticulture, states give these figures. And states, if wants to boost their GSDP, they can give any number. Where is the validation of these numbers? There's no validation. There's no data integrity of these numbers. Yet, our entire horticulture again contributes about 1.7 lakh crores. So where is this number coming from? What is the integrity of the data? And finally, lots of things are averages. When we have state samples and then state numbers, at state level, yes, the error may be less. But when you use that number and scale down to, as I've said, we're scaling it down to about 10,000 RSKs. The margin of error goes up. And averages, we all know. I'm an engineering student, I know. Averages can't be reliable. And if you just translate that average number and tell to the functionary, this is what you have to achieve, how will that functionary are going to achieve that? So, my simple point is, I know this TCD meeting, annual event is extremely important, and we are proud to host this meeting here and again welcome all of you. But I would urge all of you to discuss on ways that the most important, the survey, integrated survey, and the statistics. Of course, the census is straightforward. The last census has showed that about 13 lakh animals, cattle population decreased in Andhra Pradesh, and that's impacting our GBA. Now, obviously, every state will have to figure out, if my dependence on livestock is 17%, I can't afford to, I just can't make up for the loss in livestock through other sectors. So then I have to strategize as to how, if this is going to reduce the livestock numbers, reduction means reduction in meat and milk, then how do I make up with the other subsectors like egg? So this is extremely important. The information that comes out of this is important for strategizing and achieving the growth rates that every state is aspiring higher and higher growth rates. In fact, our 2047, Swarnandhra 2047 growth rate, to achieve 2047 target of creating wealth that will give per capita income about 55 lakh rupees per capita income. That's 2047 goal. To achieve that, these important sectors growth rate is extremely important, and that's the reason why I will close by saying that for us in this state, livestock is the most important sector, and what deliberations that happen in this TCD is extremely important for us. And my humble request to all the members, particularly to the Chairman Sahab, is to deliberate on how the all that the numbers that we talk about can be sort of, as I use this word, deconstructed or demystified into something which is tangible and actionable for the last mile functioning. So I wish the function all success, and I hope these 2 days workshop, as the chairman in his keynote address have said, with your valuable members, valuable feedback. I'm sure it will be a grand success and it will be most useful for not just for the states but for the entire country. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much, sir, for your eye-opening message and message on the needs of the world in the line of the thinking. Now I request Sri RPS Rathod, sir, Director, Department of Animal Husbandry and Dairy, to present vote of thanks, please.
Good morning to all of you. At the outset, I extend my sincere gratitude to Honorable Chair of Technical Committee of Directions, Sri Ram Singh Sir, Director General Statistics, Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, for his valuable guidance, inspiring inaugural address, and steering the deliberations of the important annual meeting of TCD for improvement of livestock statistics. I am deeply thankful to Sri Jagat Hajarika Sir, Advisor, Statistics, Department of Animal Husbandry and Dairy, for his context setting and insight introductory remarks, which aptly framed objectives and scope of deliberations. My sincere appreciation is also due to Dr. Takir Ahmed, Head Sample Survey, ISRI, Pusa, New Delhi, for his valuable address and continued technical support to the integrated sample survey framework. I convey my gratitude to Sri V. Rajasekhar Sir, Special Secretary, Government of Andhra Pradesh, for the warm welcome and support, and to the Government of Andhra Pradesh for their excellent arrangements and gracious hospitality in hosting this annual meeting at Amravati, Vijayawada. I also place on record my sincere appreciation to Sri Damodar Naidu Sir, Director, Animal Husbandry, Government of Andhra Pradesh, for his support and coordination in ensuring the smooth conduct of the meeting. I further acknowledge the valuable contributions made by ISRI for the presentation on ELIS software, FAO for their inputs on animal husbandry sector data, and state UT representatives for sharing best practices, field experience, and constructive suggestions during the technical sessions and open house discussions. My thanks are also due to all officers and officials of Animal Husbandry Statistics Division, DSD, for their meticulous planning, coordination, and seamless conduct of the inaugural session, technical sessions, and discussions over the coming 2 days. Finally, I extend my heartfelt thanks to all delegates and participants for their active participation, thoughtful interventions, and continued commitment towards strengthening the integrated sample survey and livestock statistical system in the country. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. We have completed the inaugural session. Now let us have small tea break for 15 minutes, and after that we will have technical session 1.
Please wait for 5 minutes. I am Assistant Director by the Swain, ISS. Sir, we had a report called Expert Committee Report, and we have finalized it. Now we want to some signatures, some members. We have sent it through post, through email, but those who are present here, I request to append their signature in the book. We have completed the expert committee report, and those who are present only, I request now the Director Arunachal Pradesh EP is here, so that we can take his signature. And then Director West Bengal. Not everybody has come here. There are eight directors come. We can take it from there. Okay, no issues. Okay, thank you.
Sir, please, sir. Take
Let's break the tea, please.
మళ్ళీ చేయాలి కదా అbu
So respected officials from Government of India and state government, once again I welcome you all for the technical session 1. I request all the participants to get into the meeting hall, please. Sir, now we have a presentation by Dr. Pallavi Chavan, Director RBI. Thank you, sir. Once again, I welcome you for this technical session. Now I request Dr. Pallavi Chavan, Director RBI, to have her presentation, please.
No, but I can see it there.
Good morning, all of you. Thank you very much, Hazarika ji and Rathod ji for inviting me, and it's an honor and pleasure to be amidst all of you. This is my first time, and many of you, in fact, came and asked me what is the reason why RBI is in this gathering. Because typically, when we talk of RBI, we either see it on the currency notes, or if there is a fraud in any bank, then we suddenly remember RBI. But the thing is, we are here because we also do another important function, and that is monetary policy formation. And for monetary policy, we essentially rely on two major aggregates. One is GDP and the other is inflation. And for both, as I will be explaining, livestock data is very important for us. So that's the reason why I'm here. Yeah. Can you go ahead, please? Next slide. So, since the morning session, we have had a discussion of how important livestock is. So, I don't think I need to go into the details, but I thought I'll just put it out here for everyone's knowledge, because the aspect of inflation was not at all touched upon. We only spoke of GVA, GDP, etc. So, as you can see that of the total GDP, agriculture and allied sector for India, for states, of course, it's different, but for India, it's only about 14%. And we always say that service sector is the sector leading India's GDP, which is true. Agriculture has been losing its share, no doubt about it. But within that, allied sector has been doing quite well. Its share is almost 46%, as you can see. And within allied sector, livestock is very, very important. It accounts for around 67%. So as you can see that it is definitely an important driver of India's GDP. Coming to inflation, which is another very important measure for RBI's monetary policy making. As you can see in the combined consumer price inflation basket, food and beverages is the most important component. In fact, unlike many other countries, Indian CPI basket is largely driven by food items. So about 46% of the weight goes to food and beverages, and within that, milk, eggs, meat and fish account for 11%. It seems to be small, but it is definitely gaining importance. In fact, what we see from the household consumption expenditure survey, households are increasingly shifting now to protein-based items like animal products, etc. So definitely the role of these food items will go up as we go forward. Next slide, please. And in fact, just to add that today afternoon there's a session by NSO, but NSO is going to revise its consumer price inflation basket very soon. In February, they will come out with a new basket. And what we have learned is that there is going to be an increased weight given to animal proteins and protein-based items. So now, there's another reason why we should also look at livestock sector. As I already argued that its share has been rising in the overall allied sector. As you can see on the left-hand side, currently it's around 66.5%. But what is noteworthy is that unlike crop sector, whose share and growth tends to vary very much, livestock sector turns out to be quite resilient. So on the right-hand side, I have reported the standard deviation in the growth. And as you can see, compared to crops, livestock has the least volatility. So definitely, I mean, I'm not saying that climate change is not affecting the livestock sector. I'm sure you all are experts, so you would know about it better. But what we see is comparatively, within crop and allied sectors, or within crop and livestock, the effect of livestock in terms of the volatility in growth is less. So that is why it's definitely a resilient sector. And that's the reason why it is important. Its estimation is very important. Next slide, please. Now, currently, we face a very major gap when it comes to livestock data. You all are experts in livestock data, but we at RBI really grapple, with have a difficulty. And I was explaining that last time also when I met Hazarika ji. The reason why we do it is because we are involved in GDP projections. Unlike NSO, which comes out with an estimate of GDP 2 months after the quarter is over, RBI does its monetary policy 6 times a year. So every 2 months we have to declare a monetary policy. And monetary policy, as you can well appreciate, is forward-looking. So we need data on the trends that are going to come up. So we need some lead information, some high-frequency indicators in order to make that projection, and that is where we struggle. Currently, what we know on the left-hand side, as you can see, that we know that quarterly GDP within those 4 quarters, in quarter 1 and quarter 2, NSO tells us livestock sector, that is particularly allied sector, has a larger share. The share of crop sector is more in Q3 and Q4 because by then we have the Rabi estimates and the Kharif estimates and the Rabi estimates. So that is why crop share goes up. But during the first 2 quarters, definitely livestock is important. Nonetheless, even in quarter 3 and quarter 4, it's not like allied sector is a small share. It's still around 40%. So what we have right now is we have quarterly data on crops from the Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare. We get that regularly. We do not have any information on livestock data on a quarterly basis. We don't, of course, have any information on forestry and fishing also. But as I told you, within allied sector, the largest component is livestock. So we would like to have more information on livestock sector on a quarterly basis. What we have is only annual data, and that comes with a significant lag. And by then the policy is over. By then the world is a new world. So it really doesn't help us in terms of the data that we get in terms of policy formulation. So what we currently do is we simply work out a past trend. As you can see on the right hand side, we simply work out the past trend growth, which is around 6.3 of the allied sector, and we simply plug that number here and arrive at an agricultural GDP projection. And as you can well appreciate, that's not the right way to go about it, because definitely there is 6.3 as a fixed number really does not explain the kind of contribution that is coming from the livestock sector. So in order for us to have the correct estimate of, or rather I should say projection of GDP, we need good quality and timely data on the livestock sector. So that's the reason why I'm here, and that is how we are an important stakeholder and an important user of your data. Next slide, please. So what we would like to suggest is I'm not really into livestock data. I'm in learning so far, so I cannot really comment on the quality of the data. But from what I gather, from what I have learned, is that definitely there is a move towards digitalization, etc. So there is definitely a lot of work that is happening at the ground level in order to improve the quality of the data. The issue that we have is timely access. So it is the timeliness that can be improved. My sincere request is to Hazarika ji and the other members of the AHD, the Department of Animal Husbandry and Dairy, is to share with us the data that they share with the NSO for their quarterly estimates. That will be of great help to us, sir. And even if it is provisional nature, I know, but even then it will give us an early indicator, a sort of a high frequency indicator for us to deal with, rather than having some past data which we are currently relying on. And our requirement is very simple. We need the data at the all India level. We need the volume and value of output for the 4 major categories, meat, eggs, wool and milk products, of course. And the production targets as well. So as you can see, the requirement is not a lot, but it's just that we would like to have the data in a timely manner. That will definitely help us. So thank you once again for giving me this opportunity, and I do look forward to have a collaboration with the AHD going forward such that the data exchange becomes smoother for us. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am, for your suggestions. And now we will have presentation on Ellis software by IASRI, and I request Dr. Prachi Mishra Thakurji, IASRI, to come out there to have a presentation, please.
A very good morning to all of you. Respected Chairman Kal Singh ji, Advisor AHS Shri Jagat Hazarika ji, Head Sample Survey Dr. Tawqir Ahmed, all the dignitaries coming from all the states across India. I am really honored to be here and presenting the details of the software which ISRI has developed for automated data collection in the livestock sector. I think they are working on the PowerPoint, so it will take some time. Okay. So basically, we all know that ISS, that is Integrated Sample Survey, is the centrally sponsored scheme of Government of India, and it was launched for generating the estimates of number of animals, yield and production for the 4 major livestock products of the country, that is milk, meat, egg and wool. So initially, as also mentioned in the inaugural address by our head, that the methodology was developed in early 80s by ISRI and it was given to the Government of India, and the same methodology was adopted for the data collection and estimation and generation of estimates. Now, this was a manual process. We know that we have 8 schedules of ISS. The data was collected manually, and it was always questionable because one thing, the unit level data was not available. And also there was no database as such. So the estimates which were generated were always doubtful. So then this AHS approached us for developing this system, and I'm really grateful to then advisor. It was started with I think when we started, it was started in 2019. We started developing the portal and launched the portal in 1 year, and after that we made the app, and we also then launched the app in the 2nd year, that is 2020, and after that came COVID. So for the 1 year we could not get the entire data. Another year again came COVID, so we also could not get the data for the entire year. And then after that, in 23-24 and in 24-25, we could collect the data for the entire year, all the 3 seasons, using this portal and app. So now, this was basically the journey, because now it has been many years, so I'm not going into the detail of the entire project from the beginning, as it was in different phases. Now we are in the 5th phase, but till then, till the 4th phase, we have developed the app and portal, and then we have collected the data, and we have complete data for the last 2 years, which is unit level data at household and animal level. So, next slide, please. So briefly, I'll just, in very few slides, I'll cover the ISS methodology, because some people might be new. Next slide, please. I've already covered this. So basically, if we talk of ISS, we collect the data in 4 seasons. In 3 seasons, so summer, winter, and rainy. And this is the time period for the data collection in ISS. Next slide. And talking of sampling frame and sampling design in ISS, the sampling frame consists of the latest livestock census data. So almost for 5 to 6 years, the sampling frame remains same. And when we talk of the sampling design, now we follow simply stratified 3-stage random sampling design, in which the sample is selected by simple random sampling without replacement. The first stage unit are the villages, and from the selected villages, the second stage sample, that is households, are selected. And from the selected household, the 3rd stage unit, that is the animals, are selected. So this is the 3-stage sampling design. And in the next slide, please. Coming to the details of sample size, which is very, very important, because by this you will get to know. Sir was telling in the inaugural address that from the unit level data, how do we get the single value at all India level? So from this small sample, basically we come on to, or we generate the one single value for the country, in fact. So that's why you need to know the sample size, which is very important. So when we talk of the first stage unit, that is the villages, the sample size basically is shown in this table. That is, we select 10% of the villages, subject to maximum 80 villages if there are more than 750 villages in that district. Followed by again 10% villages, subject to maximum of 60 if the number of villages are 400 to 750. So it is like that, and if the villages are very less in number, like 20 to 50 or less than 20, then all the villages we select. So this is regarding the number. For the complete enumeration, now from the complete enumeration, basically we get the estimate of number of animals. And in this complete enumeration, this 15% of the total villages which we are selecting is further divided into seasons. Since there are 3 seasons, so 5% villages for each season. And then coming again, which is divided into subsample 1 and subsample 2. Then we come on to the detailed survey. In case of detailed survey, only 10 villages are selected from these selected villages. And we basically get the estimate of yield and production from this detailed survey. So basically, if you look, we are getting this value or number of production only by 10 villages in the district, in each district, because at district level there is no selection. So now again, if we talk of these 10 districts, basically it is divided into subsample 1 and 2. So it is basically 4 villages and 1 urban ward. In subsample 1, 4 villages and 1 urban ward. In subsample 2, depending on if there is no urban ward, it will be the village only. And again, the data collection for this is in each round. One round pertains to the month. So in a season, there are 4 months, that is 4 rounds, the data is collected. So this is the beauty of the ISS survey, that the data is collected whole round the year and every month. Unlike crop, which makes it a very, very big task. Next slide, please. So this was the sample size of first stage unit, that is villages. Now coming to the second stage unit, which is households in the selected villages. Now this varies according to the commodity. So when we talk of the milk commodity, we select 12 households. So again you will have the question that only 12 households. So we select 12 households, and this is again further divided into 8 households for cattle and 4 for buffalo. 8 households again further divided into 4 types of cattle. Among the cattle, there are 4 groups, that is exotic, crossbred, indigenous and nondescript. So 2 households from each we are selecting. And then further, for buffalo, there are 2 groups, indigenous and nondescript, again 2 households from each, which gives us 12 households. And then we select 2 animals from each of the selected households, which gives us 24 number of animals. And when we talk of goats, we select the goats, all the goats from these 12 households. There is no further division into goats. And if all of these 12 households doesn't have any goat, then we will select extra 2 households for goat. So again now the number is basically 24 animals in a village, right? Which is your concern. Right. Okay, then coming to the next commodity, that is meat. In case of meat, all the households are selected, all the households or butcher shops are selected, and the data is collected on 6 animals, all the animals in the selected households. Again, no selection of animals here. And these 6 animals are cattle, buffalo, goat, sheep, pig and poultry. Right. Then coming to eggs, we select 10 households for egg. And in the selected household, we select all the laying birds, duck and fowl. And then when we talk of wool, again here we select 8 households total, in which we collect the data for 3 categories, that is of sheep, that is ram, ewe and lamb. And in ram, we select 8 households of ram, 2 animals we select. Similarly for ewe, 8 households, 2 animals. Lamb, 8 households, 2 animals per household. That is there. So we have 16 for each group animals, which gives us 48 animals in total. So this is basically the number of animals. Ultimate stage unit, in the ultimate stage unit, for which we are calculating the estimates at all India level, which is really surprising. Next slide. But the statistical methodology which has been developed, the estimation procedure, it actually takes care of all the anomalies. Of course, it is average out, right? If you talk of that, we cannot get away with average. But then we can. What about? So yes, it is there. Poultry farms, data from poultry farms is separately collected. And also we have household, if you have seen it, it's household oblique enterprise. It depends, that is the option in the app. Everything is covered. Households, enterprise, poultry farm, we have separately, we are doing it. You will see in the upcoming slides.
Household just the backyard poultry.
Backyard poultry and poultry farms also. Yes, separately. We have we have on our portal the sampling frame or the listing of all the poultry farms in each district, and data is being collected. That was not earlier, that was not there when it was run on papers, but now since it is online, so there is the list of all the poultry farms, and for poultry farms, data is collected in each season, that is season wise, not 4 rounds in a season. Okay, so now this was the basics of the methodology. Then we have a detailed estimation procedure consisting of formulas, which I am not showing because no one might be interested in that, and of course, little bit cumbersome. Coming to our ELIS initiative, basically, what we have done is at this point of time, what we have done is simply whatever the ISS methodology was existing, the sampling design, the estimation procedure, the schedules, we have simply automated it. We have put it into the web portal, and the sample, first stage sample is selected on the portal, and then the app is developed by which data collection is done. Right, so coming to the portal, what we are doing is basically the survey starts with the preparation of sampling frame, the sampling frame for first stage unit, that is villages, also the sampling frame for poultry farms, right, and slaughterhouses is also there. Then we select the villages on the portal using the portal. The sample means villages are allocated to the enumerators for data collection using the portal, right? And then the survey starts, the survey monitoring can be done around the year using the portal, and the data which comes to the portal, that monitoring can also be done by the around the year by your supervisors and DNO. Then this data, when it is filled, comes on the app. Now, ELIS app, in this we have put all the 8 schedules of ISS, and when the schedule is filled, it comes, they sync the data and it comes on the server, that is on the portal. Now, in this case, the second stage unit, that is the households, can be selected and are to be selected during the survey only, because when they reach the village, make the listing of all the households having livestock, all the animals, then only the households can be selected for milk, for egg, and like that. So in the app itself, the selection of the households is there. Then the data is synced with the server when the data is collected, and then some additional, with time we have matured and we have developed some strategies for data supervision on the app during the data collection, and then we can go for multi-stage survey monitoring in the app. Now, once the data has come on the app, then the estimates are generated on the portal using just on a single click, and 3 major estimates are being developed. That is number of animals, average yield and production for the animals for all the 4 commodities, and this is also animal group wise, like for cattle, exotic and indigenous, crossbred, everything, we get the number. And finally, we get the estimates at national level. So it is 3 levels: district, national and state level. We can develop the estimates. Next slide, please. So this is our entire setup of the ELIS. Now here, if we see the data flow, the data is collected by the enumerators in the field. And this data is then passed on to when they sync the data, it is passed on to a supervisor who needs to supervise the data quality, basically. And then this supervisor, once he's satisfied with the data, he passes on to the DNO. We have district nodal officer for each district designated for ISS survey. Now DNO has to look for the data, and he is the final authority of checking the data or suggesting anything, if he finds any flaw with the data. Otherwise, if he once says the data is okay, the data cannot be changed further. Then the data goes for estimation. The final data approved by DNO is used for generating the estimates in the portal. Then it is above the DNO is the state level officials, directors and all, and then we have the AHS division at the ministry. Now, if we see the setup of our ELIS end-to-end solution, using the portal, we first select the sample, that is villages. We first select the villages, then we allocate the villages, and again, this goes on with the district nodal officer and the state of UT officials. Basically, earlier the state used to select the villages and give it to the district, and this was supposed to be done before 1st March because survey starts on 1st March of every year for the entire year. Now it is being done on the portal with a single click, so the state can see at that time only. The district can also see and get the list of villages to be selected, which are to be enumerated in that particular year. Then schedule-wise data collection is done. In the second schedule, when the complete enumeration of the selected villages is done, then the households can be selected by the enumerator using the app. This data is synced with the server. Within that, the supervision needs to be done. So we have basically 2-day supervision here. The enumerator gives the data to the supervisor with no needs to supervise the data. So the system is built, with a lot of consistency, but now the human effort is required because you can improve the quality. There is no limit to improve the quality, basically. Then we have given the option of survey monitoring at each stages, particularly 10 stages, whether the survey has started, whether how many villages have been already completed during the entire survey. Season-wise, states can see, DNO can see how many villages are left, and all this timeliness to see. Also the data quality, both these, and then finally we generate the estimates. Next slide, please. So these are the schedules, 8. There are, as I already told you, there are 8 schedules. The first one is for general information. Second one is very, very important because this is for complete enumeration. And here we select the households and we get the estimates of number of animals from this second schedule. Then we have the separate schedule related to each commodity. We have third schedule which is for milk, and it has 5 blocks. But major what we are actually collecting the data on yield of the milk from cattle, that is morning, noon, and evening. The schedule 4, that is for eggs. We get the number of layers from here and also eggs produced. And if we talk of meat, we get the number of layers used for meat. Backyard poultry. Then the schedule 6, which is for wool, we get the number of sheep sheared, and the yield of the wool from schedule 6. Then we have 3 schedules for meat. So these are schedule 5, 6, 7, and 8. In 5, we collect the data regarding number of layers and average yield per season. That is the egg production for commercial poultry farm. So this is what I was talking about. We have the list of entire commercial poultry farm at every season. At the beginning of every season, the DNO is supposed to update that list, and they are given the provision of making the poultry farm operational or non-operational for that particular season. In each season they need to declare, because we have not given the option of delete commercial poultry farm. This was intentional because if they enter the data for commercial poultry farm, next season they don't want to enter the data for 500 farms and they delete the farms. So they have to keep it, and just they can declare it operational and non-operational if it is not working, and they can fill the data. Then we have the schedule 7, which is for meat production from slaughterhouses. Here we collect the data on number of animals slaughtered and the dressing percentage. And then the 8th one, which is meat production from commercial poultry farm. Here we have chicks placed in broiler and survival percentage. So this I am showing only the variables which are used for generating these 3 estimates. Rest, there are a lot of other variables for which data is collected. Like we have this major ones, if I talk of, they are the dung, data for dung is collected, and for fodder is also collected, and we are planning to give the estimates this year. If we are fortunate enough, we may provide the estimate of fodder and dung also for this year data. So then Yeah, yeah. Just go back there.
For schedule 5, 7 and 8,
Yes,
they are entered by
DNO. Yes, once in a season, once in 4 months.
Okay, and these commercial firms are
Registered commercial farms, poultry farms.
they are geofenced.
Yeah.
Only when you go there and you
Yeah, I think I forgot to mention that point. It may come somewhere else. In Schedule 2, we have already given the location. They have to put the location. So earlier when we started this, there was issue with the people, but now location is mandatory. And for commercial poultry farm also they are supposed to give. But practically, let me tell you here, practically this is not happening. Right? So, these are the things which we really need to improve now. The system is in place, the system is very consistent. Sorry?
there are no validations.
Validations means that is the data they are putting in the portal, in the app.
Any number can be entered.
Any number can be entered by DNO. Who has to validate? State officials have to validate. Right? Who else can validate? How to validate? If you have any suggestions, you tell. Because DNO is the ultimate authority. Other than state has to states have to validate or question what data they have entered. Because we cannot question on what data is being entered. Yeah. So we agree to what DNO is sending us.
Supervisor has to see. First priority is supervisor. Then comes in order. Then a step.
So DNO is the ultimate
One just thinking now, one way is, see, we have to capture data real time.
Yes.
So maybe these registered poultry farms, slaughterhouses should be reporting every day, real time. We give some, particular, maybe by 10 a.m., whatever time. And so that whatever data is entered on a particular day in terms of all those numbers, how much animal is slaughtered or eggs laid, real time it's nobody can tamper, right? Because if you're asking in 1 year, one time data entry, it's completely in terms of data integrity, that number has, in my opinion, has no value. Because the system takes any number. Do you have any validations as to, you can't enter a particular,
Yes, let me tell you. Okay. See,
data value?
let me tell you, but for commercial poultry farm it becomes different. One thing, the data for, as I have told, the schedule 3, 4, 5, these are, and even 1, 2 are round wise, means every month the data is collected, once a month, right? Now, when we talk of commercial poultry farms, 5, 7 and 8, the data is collected once a quarter and when the quarter is over. So we ask what the data for previous quarter, right? Now, your second question, as far as the validation checks are there. Validation checks we have put all through each question, like when they enter the noon yield, when they enter the evening yield, which is based on even human error, one thing. Second thing, statistical value also. So we have given the checks, say it cannot be, yield of animal cannot be 100. Now for this, we have taken the maximum yield from each state. Breed wise, of course, we are not going for the data, but then for crossbred cow. So that value, minimum, maximum, that we have entered as a validation. Otherwise, it is of no use, right? But then also human error, if they can put one more zero, so we have put that validation check key decimals, or we have given the check that not more than 3 digit, like that. But as far as commercial poultry farms are required, probably if I can show, this is PowerPoint going on, maybe I'll show you on the internet in the system. So there, when they enter number of birds, now this DNO has to enter. And the number of birds, it depends. There are a variety of commercial farms, small, big, like that. Some have birds in lakhs. So we cannot restrict on this. Then how to validate? Right? Validation, and then again we are depending on the moral responsibility of DNO. Because DNO is the ultimate authority, no?
Why I'm asking specifically on this is, the maximum amount of GVA for in livestock comes from the commercial, from the industry, not so much from the first 3 schedules. Now here, what I find is we have very little role. Many of these huge poultry farms, for instance, they don't allow even our officers to enter the premises. They have their own set of veterinarians, and complete end-to-end is done.
Yeah, we visited one
in fact, I and my director visited only during bird flu time, and we found it's a nightmare. Each of these poultry farms, it's a world of its own, and what they do inside.
We visited one in Raipur, but that was owned by AP person only. Huge commercial poultry farm.
So all by the time we went and saw, many animals have poultry have died. They have not informed. They were simply continuing selling eggs, and even after 1 month of detection of bird flu. So this.
See, I fully agree to your concern, but you also think or give suggestions what could we as a software maker or HS as this thing can do? What can be done?
Yeah, one thing which we strongly believe in whenever we design data collection software is to capture it real time. Number 2, not by a human entry. I mean, human entry of a number is bound to intentional, not intentional apart.
So what is the other option for that?
No, there are 2 ways. One, I am saying, every day you collect real-time data, which is daily reporting kind of a thing, from which one can get average or whatever we can do. The second is specifically for this we need to deliberate, but can we have not the data entry of a number, but through another means of getting whatever data we want, which is valid and reliable. Because if you are asking somebody once in a year or once in a quarter to enter a specific number, even if you have those validation checks of minimum, maximum and all that, but still somebody is entering a number which can be any number even within those validation checks, which is then not accurate. When we are doing in 2026, if you can't get accurate data, and any analytics emerging out of this data which is not valid, I'm not saying it's garbage, but it's not valid. I have, issues about the analytics coming out of that.
In that case, states has to play the role because data is collected by states only.
States, yes.
Because that it's not that commercial poultry farm person is putting the data, and DNO is going from here, supposed to go from here and put the data. And again, DNO is a state official. So the states have to see what better they can do. Accordingly, I can incorporate in my system. I don't have any problem. At what level states can collect the data? This is once in a quarter, which is so difficult, doing it practically. So your concern is really good and genuine, but you need to see the practicality in the field data collection also. That is very, very important.
My request is maybe Chairman Saab also, if on this, if this the deliberations as part of this, if you can suggest that states can come out with their own methodology of collecting at least these 3 schedules. We will definitely in the next maybe 3 months do internal deliberations and then come out with a, as I've said, real time and reducing that the error in data collection. Surely we'll definitely do it. Yeah, thanks.
Today, sir, as far as data collection is concerned, there are 2 methods which are below. That is inquiry-based method and actual measurement method. Actual measurement based method means it is going to be close to true. That is, you can say real time. And the other is inquiry based. Inquiry based data collection, once it is done, it may overestimate or it may underestimate. So we always prefer in the actual measurement data. But keeping in mind the operational cost and budget, you cannot go for actual measurement based data collection for all the surveys in the country. Even in our country, NSSO does all India surveys for not only one sector, for most of the sectors. There also it is inquiry based data collection, and wherever possible, inquiry based data is integrated with actual measurement data. So inquiry based for a larger sample and actual measurement for a sub-sample. Then we integrate it as we do in food loss measurement. There also it is country level data collection, national level, and it is both inquiry and observation based. And our Indian agricultural statistics system is considered as a robust data collection system as far as FAO is concerned and other countries, even developed countries are concerned. So we are in happy position. However, there is a scope of improvement and real-time data collection. Now see, we have now automated the system. Most of the cases now we are on automation side. So with this, data quality is getting improved. So that is one part. Now wherever other aspects like crops, in crops, remote sensing, GIS, drones and other things are there. There we are taking help of those technologies to get the real-time data because satellite is there. In this case, in livestock, it is not. Say remote sensing, other technologies are not going to help. So here we have to just see how keeping the constraint of budget. So there you can always deliberate at a state level and you can come out, suggest, and I think sir at the ST level and we as the technical persons we can surely help.
Regarding data collection, we are facing some problem. We are getting 4 months for one season. But in our state, not our state, I think every state, every numerator not start working from, suppose winter is starting from November month, few numerator started from the month of November. But some numerator will start at the end of February, when our year is completed. We are telling so many times to do the work, but they are not doing. So it is my humble submission, if it is possible, in the apps, when they open the app, date will be shown in the app when it start, and then it will be finished. Date will be shown the one. Then we will be take action against him. Then I think data will be actual data will become. If date is shown in the apps, because if someone started from November month, someone started from the end of February, but when they end, everyone completed, but date is not shown. Who start in first, who start in last. It is the main problem. If date is shown in the apps, then it will be, I think, data will be connected.
For date, you want the date to be shown when enumerator is starting the data collection.
Yes, I mean when they finish, it date will be also shown in the apps. If it is possible in the apps.
No, possible is everything, but it should be logical also. The point is that this you need for state nodal officer to verify or monitor. I think so.
We are verifying.
Yeah.
We are telling.
So that's why the 10 stages of survey is there, where you can see that enumerators has started the data collection in that village. Enumerator, there are 10 stages of survey monitoring.
They are not doing start, ma'am. They are not doing work in the same time. No. This is the fishing we are fishing in the field. If this date is shown, then we will take action against them. Then data will become actually correctly.
I think you can see that also when he has started. Like, okay, if it is your suggestion, I'll see how it can be put. But then we are giving, otherwise, what more logical was we found, we are giving these many days are left to complete the survey. These many days are left. All these days and dates we are giving.
We are giving, ma'am.
Yeah.
In the WhatsApp we are giving, but they are not starting. We are with this side. If you put the date, then we will take action against the enumerator.
Okay, you want to.
Then data will become correctly, ma'am.
Okay, I'll look into it. But you see that survey monitoring, in that survey monitoring at different stages, you can know that. Okay, that you monitor that survey stages more critically. So you will be able to. Anyhow, I have noted this.
In last month, you find this, they have done all we do. We are facing this problem.
Yeah, no. This is very practical problem. I will show you the locations. Look, in this presentation, I will show you the location from where data is being collected. In the states and in the district. You can see that. Okay, so what you are telling is that they collect in last 1 week. That means they are not visiting to the field. As simple as that. Yeah.
Hello. In the same manner, I want to say that during the present survey period, that is 2025-26, the sample has been selected around about 20th March. Now the summer season timeline is 30th June, and the government of India has extended the date maybe to 15th August. Now the data which is collected between 1st July to 15th July is basically of rainy season. And now rainy season has been extended to 15th November. Some data also collected of rainy season is of winter season. And there is a fluctuation in the data. Whether if we compare the seasonal data, then there will be variation. Since we are collecting data, half collection is of summer season and half of rainy season due to extension of time. And regarding the real-time management of commercial poultry farm, there are about 157 poultry farms in our district, and DNO cannot regularly visit these farms. It is not possible for DNO, who is the deputy CBO of the district. He is not in a position to visit regularly these farms and collect the data.
I got your point, but I think I have not discussed with survey on 1st March. And since you have raised the point, sir, let us decide. This time we are not giving any extension. As simple as that. Right? Because you people are in the mind ki extension will be given. So basically we should not extend. Yeah, sir has given a good point also. This time there was issue. You see, there was some labs in our data center and then we had to come to cloud. We migrated onto cloud, which took almost more than I think 1.5 months. That's why, that was the reason, that's why, a genuine reason. And we had to stop the data collection for almost 1 month, 20 days or 2 months. So that's why the extension was given. So now onwards, I think, yeah, now advisor has also said, no extension. Right? We should not give. So that you also convey to your TNOs and enumerator. His problem will also be solved. Ki last 1 week of February they collect the data. See, sir, I want to mention this is the case. In this minimum data collection, this is the situation. And if we go for more, and if we go for this not inquiry based, measurement based, then what will happen? So this is practical situation. It happens in all surveys.
Yes, ma'am. Can I say something? Yeah, with your kind permission. Ma'am, as we all know, ISS program has been going on for the last 40 years, since the 80s. And I wonder why we could not still finalize, even to regularize, to make this as a regular department. Now, coming to validations, we still have the doubts on our workers. We selected several levels of enumerators, supervisors, DNOs, and SNOs, and still there is doubt for validations. So here I think we need to take very serious action plans. Here, what I want to suggest is our workers, starting from list level, enumerators, then supervisors, DNOs, and SNOs. Are they relevant? Are they trustworthy? This is the question regarding the validations. Are we selecting the right person in the department, in the state? If not, what is the wrong with us? How we cannot trust on them? How we cannot validate the data collected by the state levels from the village level itself? As Andhra Pradesh director has said that they have about 60,000 village workers who are contributing towards this animal husbandry, where their contribution towards this state is 17%, something like that, in GDP. I think it's a high time for us to evaluate all this problem. And being a national program, it should be very serious, and 40 years is good enough for us to come up with concrete result. So now, what I want to suggest, if at all that is true, that we cannot trust our workers, then now we have to take today we have to take serious decisions. Why our workers should be defaulters? How should they betray their states and nationals? We should come up with a detailed, accurate, realistic data. Because it's a policy making. We cannot always do corruptions. We see that there is corruptions. The salaries are not released in time. DNGs are not released in time. Why? Because of that, we cannot collect maybe because of that, we cannot collect the status data, realistic data. We should be timely release and then let them work. And whoever don't work, we should take right action second. That's why I think we can control the defaulters. So I feel we should now take it very seriously, and we should trust our workers and let them come up with realistic data. And if needed, not through DNO, but even SNO should be held responsible, and data should be sent through SNO, so that it is validated. If DNO cannot send the realistic data, it should come to SNO, so that SNO can finally send the state officials to verify whether the DNO's reporting is right or not. To that extent, we can validate, and that should be taken into action. So that is my humble suggestion. I am Dr. Nato Jimomi from Nagaland State as a new SNO. I just recently took up this SNO issue, but I think there is something wrong in this issue, where even the funds are not released in time. So these are the there's some lagging behind. So I think we need to rectify all these anomalies and come up with strict action. Thank you.
I'm really happy to see your concern, but I think I'm not the authority to talk on this. But I think all other states should also be so enthusiastic, and advisor can comment on this. Yes, sir. And we have coming sessions. No, we are here for 2 days to discuss all this only, right? So.
Yeah, all common problems. So we'll discuss in common feedback session. I think this is
Okay, so I'll again start the things. So, like as I told earlier, it started in phases and now we are in the 5th phase. So I'm not telling all the details of the past, and I'm directly coming to, because we have been presenting in each of the TCDs every year, I'm directly coming to the last 1 year, what we made the advancement and what all we did. So these are 5 of the major things we did. Real-time system-based supervision, just to improve the data quality since the system is now in place. Automated query module, view and download unit level data, support of regional languages, and incorporation of feedbacks received from the training next. So here we developed a model, basically real-time system-based supervision. Again, I'm not going into detail in this. And basically this was to improve data quality. So here the system will generate suggestions for number of animals reported as per survey pertaining to all the groups, exotic, crossbred, each of the group of the animals at village and urban ward level in real time. This actually will facilitate the supervisor and DNO by allowing them to view system generated suggestions, because practically I know that it is a huge data and it is not possible for DNO to look the data for all the villages, and that too at household level and animal level. So the system will generate the suggestions if there is some issue like a very large number is given, absurd number is given, so the system will help them where to look into. And this might be anything like we may use the auxiliary variable, that is the previous year census data, and if in that census data they are putting they are only 100 crossbred and now he is putting 10,000 crossbred. So definitely that is wrong, it is not possible. So this is just to improve the data quality. They will be given fact that for this particular village number of crossbred needs to be checked or looked into, because practically in field data collection is also difficult, and after that supervision, basically that line of, though we created this 3-tier supervision system, enumerator, supervisor and DNO, but supervisor somewhere is not working at all, and DNO ends up in doing everything, and he's really not able to, because they are again entrusted into number of other responsibilities, and these are all veterinary doctors, so they are more attending to that, that profession. So it becomes difficult. So just to help them, we developed this. Next slide. Again, this is part of it. Like we identified the problems where it is. Sometimes what happened that in the previous census, the animal, say cattle crossbred is reported in that village, whereas this time they are showing 0. Now this, the DNO will not be able to know for each village, and then the system will give him the information whether it's only to check. It's not that you have to change, it's a suggestion sort of a thing, that animal is not reported if they are not reporting the animal, and similarly vice versa, that earlier there was no animal, now they are reporting it. So just to say that, are you sure there is cattle crossbred in that village? So you can particularly check for that village. So that way it will be really helpful for them. And these are the 6 main variables which we came across. That one is animal is wrongly reported, or it is not reported, that is it is missing. Or the number which you have entered is low or very low, or it is absurdly high or very high. So this suggestion will be given, and they can check in their respective villages. They can ask the supervisor, or they can ask the enumerator even. Sir, I think I have not mentioned that properly. I've that slide was removed. In the sense, I just want to tell you that we have put this query module. So in that case, when the enumerator gives the data to the supervisor, supervisor can raise the query to the enumerator to so that he can upgrade the data. Or he can give justification why this value is like this. Same thing, supervisor when will give the data to a DNO, DNO will raise the query. If he wants to change, he can change or he can justify. So that way the system is developed. But practically it is not happening. That is the issue. Next slide, please. Then we have the automated query module. Now query module is very, very important, and this query is different than the query of the enumerator and supervisor and DNO. This is the query with ISRI. I mean, we, the technical team who has developed the software. So basically we divided, in the beginning we divided the entire country into 6 zones, south, west, north, central, like that. And we have made the WhatsApp group. And if they come across issues in the system, in the working of system or data collection or sync or anything, they put up the query. So, and then we were answering the query. And the consequence was, myself and my team was getting the query at 3 o'clock and 4 o'clock in the morning and 12 o'clock at night, right? And 24/7 we were working on those queries. So which was really mess up with us. And if the query was not answered, then I used to receive phone calls. Madam, ye to ho hi nahi raha hai. See, that's what I told you, till DNO level we have. SNO can also see the unit level data, right?
You are saying the higher senior officers only check the numbers that have been entered by a lower level officer, right? No. I'm saying collector also has to go to the field and check a certain percentage so that he'll get an idea of. That's what is done in most of the surveys.
Actually, that setup state has to do. I mean,
no, in the system itself, you should have that, say, some percentage. Normally, we say 10%, because when that is made compulsory, then these actually, now the system, you are saying whatever data that is already entered by the enumerator is checked by the supervisor.
Yeah.
In fact, what will supervisor know? Supervisors don't go, DNOs don't go to the actual field reality is known by the lower level cadre. But if you have a super check done of a certain percentage, we are doing it in many surveys, we do it. We make it compulsory. In fact, the system generates which village, which household that particular officer has to go and check. So that, in fact, we make in many things, collectors do a small percentage so that the district collector goes and checks. Then the lower level people know that, we may be exposed if we enter any wrong data.
This will disrupt the timeliness of the survey.
Not really. I mean, if you put it in a time frame. See, as it is, the sample is small. Within that, we are saying, maybe collector will get 2-3 villages to go and see.
Yeah, we don't have any inbuilt mechanism in the software, but there is the instruction that all senior officers have to respect.
If it is not in the system, nobody will do it. So we have to put it here. It will work. I'm telling you, your data collection quality will improve.
There is a system of administration. To make it practical
and doable by the district, keep that number.
Okay. So yeah, I was telling you about the automated query module. So we had, as I told you, we formed the WhatsApp group, which are still existing. So as a consequence of that, we have formed this automated query module, and the enumerator or supervisor or DNO are supposed to send the query to this. So in this has multiple advantage. One thing, immediately they will get the response by the system. type of queries. Some can be answered immediately. For some, we have to look the database, we have to go in details, which takes time. So basically, that was the idea. But again, still people are not following it. And through this, we can also get the entire metadata regarding the query, in the sense how many queries were fired on each day by each state, how many were answered. All these things we are not getting in the general WhatsApp group. But still people are reluctant to use this automated query module, because easier is sending a message on WhatsApp. Right? So again and again we tell the states, we request them to use this automated query module, and if it is used, it will be definitely very good for them. And also they will get this immediate reply, and then if they are not satisfied, we have put a long system on in this, that if they are not satisfied with the reply, again they can fire the query, and then our team will respond to that, and again if they have not replied, then, and finally they should from their side close the query, then only we will close it and we will actually get number of queries answered. But then again, practically nobody, once their query is answered, practically nobody tells, okay, I'm done with the query, right? So this is all what happens. Okay, next slide, please. Okay, this is actually was from the beginning, but during last 2 months, we have conducted all the trainings, which I'll be showing you in the subsequent slides. And the result was, I was very sad to note that even at state level, at the DNO level, they were not actually aware of how to see the unit level data. Each one who can sign up or log in our system can see the unit level data, that is at the household level, animal level. So that's why we have put this particularly, that we can see the unit level data. You can see, as well as you can download the data, and in the Excel format, season-wise, schedule-wise, month-wise, year-wise, you can see the unit level data. And you can download, because often states tell us that where is our data, how to see the data. Earlier manually it was, when we were collecting, it was with us, at least we could do something. But it is on the portal, you have your login IDs, you just log in and download and see the data. Right? So to many, in all the trainings I covered, but still many of the people are not aware, so that's why I've put this slide. Still, if you have this idea, you can download the data and you can view the unit level data pertaining to each household and animal and group of animal. That was the idea of this slide. Next slide, please. Yeah, so from the feedbacks from various states, earlier the app was only in English language, but then when we got the feedback, so we have also now the app in Hindi, Tamil, Punjabi, Kannada and Bengali. And rest of the states said they don't want. Still, if any state want, they can tell us, and we can put the app in their language also, because we communicated with each of the state. Many of them were okay with English, and so only these states told they want the app in their state language, so we have done that. Next slide, please. Okay, now coming to the training conducted in 25-26. So we already know that even if the system is old, training is very, very important part of improving the system. And also we are getting our system every year, we are getting some things we are updating in the system, and we rely on the feedbacks from the state, because actually they are the major stakeholders who are collecting the data. Next slide, please. So I've just put few photographs, and 5 of the trainings were conducted basically starting in September 29. So that was in Delhi, and the participating states were Chandigarh, Haryana, Jammu and Kashmir, Uttar Pradesh, Uttarakhand, Punjab, Himachal Pradesh, Delhi. Ladakh was also part of this group, but nobody turned up from that state. And 100 participants participated in this training program. And we have made the handbook for each of the zones in the training. And also we provided them with the certificate. And also there was the press release. So these are some of the photographs which you can see. The next one, please. So second one was from October 7 to 8 at Chhattisgarh, and the participating states and UTs were 6 here: Bihar, Jharkhand, West Bengal, Chhattisgarh, Orissa, Andaman and Nicobar, and 102 participants were actually trained in this training. Next, please. The third one was October 30 to 31st. All the trainings were 2 days training program, and in this 6 state UTs covering Dadar and Nagar Haveli and Daman and Diu, Goa, Rajasthan, Maharashtra, Gujarat, Madhya Pradesh, covering 133 participants. Next, please. Then we have at Tripura during November 7 to 8. And this was held at, the number of states participating were Arunachal Pradesh, Manipur, Mizoram, Sikkim, Assam, Meghalaya, Nagaland and Tripura, covering 120 participants. Then we had the Southern Zone training at Telangana during November 28-29, in which Andhra Pradesh, Kerala, Puducherry, Telangana, Tamil Nadu, Lakshadweep, Karnataka states participated, and in all there were 158 participants. So these were the training programs as far as states are concerned. We covered all the states, and I'm really thankful because most of you are present here. So when I looked at you, I remembered Agartala and all. So every state was a very good host. The trainings were, I think, very, very fruitful, and you have done a very good job regarding this training, and I think you all also learned a lot of things in the training. Now these were the training at the in all India level, and then we had some were told that if a particular state wants the training in their state, because their own enumerators and supervisors can participate in the training. It's not easy to take number of peoples because of the financial constraints and all. Then we can hold the training in the respective state also. And so this was the part of that. That is, the training was held at on December 23rd in Chhattisgarh, and Chhattisgarh was very fast to grab this opportunity, and they arranged basically this training, and then which was followed by a field visit, because I am told on many forums that when we were developing the app, it was the COVID era, and so we could not go to the field basically. So I also had not seen the commercial poultry farm basically and the slaughterhouses. So next day we planned the field visit, and Dr. Panchbhai took us at 6 o'clock in the slaughterhouse, right? Early morning. So this field visit was also very fruitful. We went to the slaughterhouse, commercial poultry farms, and we saw everything milking and all. So the field visit was made on 24th December. Next slide, please. So basically training and support and material which we are provided. This is just a summary of this. So 700 plus participants have been trained in this entire year, and these are basically some queries. If you can see the table at the right, number of queries with the number of states and the number of participants, which we keep on asking. And during this period, yes, the important thing in this slide is that we have given the new version of the app because of the languages also and many other things have been included in August. That was version 3.0, and then depending on the results coming from feedbacks coming from this training, I'll go in detail in the subsequent slides, but then we have already released a newer version, that is 3.01, in which we have incorporated all the feedbacks which have been come from this training, which the enumerators or DNOs were facing the problem. We have given the solutions to all and released the newer app. Next. Yeah, so very short 2 slides on the feedbacks incorporated in the version 3.01 after the trainings. So one is the filter option which was suggested in schedule 2, which will enable filtering the list of household, enterprise and butcher shops based on animal and group wise. So this will make things very easy for you. You can filter and in one go you can understand. Then the survey reporting period is now prominently highlighted. See, the survey reporting period, earlier it was showing like 120 days. So some DNO of some states said कि मैम ये 120 days मत दिखाइए क्योंकि enumerator मैं आपकी बात पे कह रही हूँ what you were telling कि enumerator बोलते हैं अभी तो 120 days पड़े हैं तो आप you remove this 120 because it increase 119 days 118 days so they feel 118 days तो बहुत ज़्यादा है हम data collection कर लेंगे so we have removed this and we have changed it. Then a new filter option has been added in schedule 5 and 7 to enable filtering of commercial poultry farms based on operational and non-operational and surveyed and non-surveyed because there are a number of commercial poultry farms 5,000 types bhi hain, so it is very difficult for DNO to manage this so they can filter and get the list and put it in Excel. Next slide please. Then meat commodity animals are now excluded from the total animal count under schedule 2 while computing the number of animals from the Hamlet group because in case of meat data collection Hamlet group concept doesn't work. Then in schedule 3, that is the schedule for milk, block 4 and 5, the default selected row is now automatically aligned with the animal for which the household enterprise has been selected under second stage. This was also told by a number of states, so we have done it for their convenience. Next slide please. Okay, so now just a small highlight of the survey 25-26. Now we know that we have crossed the summer season, the rainy season and winter season is going on. Already we are in 21st of January, so we have only February month left. The survey will stop, the date will end on 28th Feb as per rules, right? So this is the condition. Now the summer season, the complete enumeration was 98.15, detailed survey 96. I think you are going through these numbers. Now at this forum, my humble submission to the states are that when this survey can be 98.15% in summer season and 98.51% in rainy season, why it can't be 100? So, you know, this 98.51 means hardly 2 villages in the entire country with any 1 or 2 schedules is left. That will complete this percentage. So, this is the duty of all DNOs and state nodal officers. I can do nothing about it except extending the date, which now we are deciding we are not going to. So this is our moral responsibility, I suppose, because this is such a small number. If it would have been 80, it's okay. It's 20% is less, very small percentage. So this, you all should be little more sensitive towards this. That is what I feel. And even this winter season, when we see is 47% complete enumeration, detailed survey is still 22.97. So February is coming, then it will be 98%. What you mentioned. Now it's only 22.97%. We are running in the 3rd month of the quarter, right? So this is the scenario. Commercial poultry farm survey, you see, it's 21.01%. Slaughterhouse is 13%. So in this, one major thing is that in summer season, 34.49 lakh households were surveyed, and in rainy season, the data was collected from 34.86 lakhs. And in winter, we have covered only 18.96, which will again be around 34 lakhs. So that we have to do in February and the remaining days of January. And of course, I want to appreciate the states. And this is the table is for appreciation and the names of the states which are not coming in this for inspiration that it should come. So the states who have completed the rainy season and the winter season, sorry, summer season survey on time, basically. So these are the 11 states, and Uttarakhand is as usual always on the top. Right? Timeliness, yes, really need applause. Really. Timeliness and data quality unmatched in the ISSR for Uttarakhand. And the estimates are also good. Based on that. Right? Then West Bengal is also doing the survey on time, always now for last 2-3 years. Wonderful. Mizoram, Karnataka, Odisha, Goa, Manipur, Kerala, Lakshmi, Tripura and Ujjain. But other states, please draw a good lesson from them. So that I will be happy when I put all 36 states here. It's only 11. Right? Special request to Bihar and UP. So please do that. Okay, I mentioned you the data collection points. Now these are the locations we have mapped, taking into account the latitude, longitude. Now this is on household basis. Okay, we have mapped the households from which the data is collected. So this is Uttarakhand covering the entire state. Right? Now, I don't want to talk much on this. You see the map yourself and try to understand. A small line is there. Otherwise, there are all points. Right? So, next slide, please. Now, this is West Bengal. So, this is the case of your February data collection last week. Right? Next slide. This is Howrah district of West Bengal. Okay, households, Howrah district of West Bengal. Some district-wise data is also being mapped. Next. This is Andhra Pradesh. Right? This is Andhra Pradesh. These are the households and enterprises which have been surveyed, basically. So these are not are scattered, but very few lines we can see. Right? I hope everybody understands that. Next slide. These are the locations of this district. Amravati. NDR district. Okay, next. This is Karnataka. This is Karnataka, right? Mr. Edwin. So, few lines you can see, right? Next, that's it. Okay, so basically now we are coming to the end of 2025 and 26 survey. And we will be starting the 26-27 survey very soon, that is from 1st March. Now this is our SOP. Again, I am not going into detail because this is very lengthy, right? And yeah, so this is very lengthy. Basically, we have the dates, right? Starting from 28th, and we have all the dates for 4 quarters, that is season-wise. Like on 30th June, we have to finish the summer season survey. So these dates all are fixed. The only thing, next time, please. Yeah, only thing is that what we basically do is after selecting the samples, we have given a 10 days window in each season to the states if they want any correction in their villages which have been selected. If the villages are uninhabited or there is no animals. So we have given this 10 days window for in each season. This should be followed very well. Because we try to understand after 3 months of the survey already on in that quarter, we get the request change our villages. Right? For which only 10 first days are allocated. So this should also be taken care very seriously. Because after that, everything is messed up. Already the selection has been done. survey has been started, and then it becomes very difficult. So this you should keep in mind.
Just 2 minutes.
First 10 days you tell if any village has to be reselected, and so that we can give that. Then there is conversing schedule 1 and 2 for the selected villages within first 15 days of the first month. Yeah. Now I don't know what the states are doing. I mean the exact situation, because the complete enumeration basically goes on for the entire 4 months. That is the season, in the entire season. Now this becomes very difficult. Ideally it should finish in first month. But whatever the practical issues you have, what you can do here is that you complete the complete enumeration of the villages which are selected in detailed survey. There are only 10. Those 10 villages which are selected in detailed survey, finish the complete enumeration initially, in initial 10-15 days. And then you can continue with your complete enumeration of other villages. Right? That is a shortcut method what I am telling that will be very useful. Otherwise it really becomes very difficult. Okay, then next. We all know that we have to collect all these data from schedules, all these schedules and commercial poultry farms, and the dates are already there. Next, I think it's completed. Okay, but the only point is, again, as we discussed, we are not extending the date, let it be on time. It should complete within your 4 months period, and that allocation due on time. And if you want to replace the village, please tell us on time. So then the survey will be completed within a season, and maybe we can get the complete data within your 28th February. And it was very rightly pointed out by Pathak ji that even if we are extending the date, your work is not lessened. It is further complicated because you have already to collect the data for rainy season. And again you have to collect also for summer season. And then everyone is messed up, the enumerator also. Then the data quality will further be reduced. Right? So my humble request with you, let us complete it timely and that completeness. So 2 important properties of survey, completeness and timeliness. So that 100% we need to achieve instead of little less. So now I'm almost coming to the end of this, and this is the last slide. And maybe this basically, okay, this is upcoming features. What we are planning to do in next year. We are planning for a very user-friendly, flexible dashboard for each state. And on your dashboard, you can see many things which actually you know, but you are not getting time to see and on the portal. The SNO is not getting time to sit and open the portal and see number of things which are already there. So that will be readily available on the dashboard. Like you can see the survey, how much is being done, what is going on, maybe the estimates, if server meets, whatever. Like so many things we are planning that it will be user friendly for you, and SNO can see their dashboard, all the details, number of animals, like cattle, buffalo, goats, group wise, on one single click. So that is what we are planning for the next coming year. What we are planning to do is, and even you can do some small analysis that which are first 5 districts, highest producing, milk producing district, something like that. You can get the graphs, and also you can maps of the district, state, you can see there, something like that which we are planning, for which will be helpful for SNO and the policymakers for your information, your meetings and all. That is what we are planning here. And also probably year-to-year trend we can give based on your previous year data and census data. That is what we are planning for the next year, what we are enhancing in our ELIS software that is in the portal. Next, I think it's last slide. Okay. Okay, this I think we all know. Just to conclude, I'll tell you the present status of our portal, ELIS web portal, and I feel proud in telling that. And it is, of course, with all your contribution of all the states. Now we have the data of 3.89 crore household on our portal. And we have the data of 61,000 commercial poultry farms covering 2.31 lakh villages. Okay, so this is what we have achieved down the lane, and I think it's a big achievement, and it is by the cooperation of all of you. So I think everyone deserves a very big applause for all of us. So this is our ELIS web portal and app. Rest we all know. Next. Thank you.
Thanks, May, for the valuable software presentation. And now we will have a small illustration activity. I request Dr. Pallavi Chauhan, Director RBI, to come on the dais, please. And I request Sri Jagat Hajaria sir, Advisor Department of Animal Husbandry, to illustrate that. Sir, I request Sri Rajshekar sir and Sri Kala Singh sir, Jagat Hajaria sir, and Takir Ahmed sir, and Dawood Nair sir, and Rathur sir to come over the dais, please. I request Dr. Pallavi Chauhan. Okay. I request Dr. Prachi Misra Sahu Madam also to come over the dais, and I request Jagat Hajaria sir, Advisor, to felicitate her, please. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Now, I request Dr. B. Rajshekar sir to felicitate Shri Kal Singh sir, Director General, and Chairman TC. Thank you, sir. Now I request Sri Kal Singh sir, Chairman TCB, to felicitate Shri B. Rajshekar sir, Secretary, DP, PDF report. You sir.
Okay, sir.
Thank you, sir. Now I request Sri Kal Singh, sir, Chairman TCB, to felicitate Sri Jagat Hajaria, sir, advisor.
Hi, sir.
Thank you, sir. Now I request Sri Jagat Hajaria, sir, to felicitate Dr. Akir Ahmad, sir.
Hi, sir.
Now I request Sri Jagat Hajaria, sir, to felicitate Dr. T. Amol Naik, sir, Director of Hospital.
Right, sir. Blue. Sir, कुछ सेंटर बन रहा है?
Thank you, sir. I request Sri Jagat Hajarika, sir, to felicitate Dr. R.P.S. Rathore, sir, Director, Samples. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. So we have completed our technical session 1. Let us have lunch break for 1 hour, and after that we will have technical session 2, please. Thank you. Thank you very much.